Welcome to another RES Wave market update. This is a price action update for Ethereum. Um, I've changed my account since last night. This morning I woke up and there was no follow through to the upside. So unfortunately, these waves not easy to read due to how sharp they moved up and down. The only clues I could get was that there was no zigzag here. So for this to be a B wave down here, for me, it wasn't the case. So I'm sticking to the original plan that this is an A, B, C, D, E. So at the top here, I just want to talk about this a bit more. So I have a couple of trend lines, channels going, like for the whole thing. Basically, since that low, basically just taking um, a couple of lows here and extrapolating it up. So there's a bit of resistance there on this channel, and that's on the 4 hour. On the 1 hour, um, basically it's a case of running up a channel. Where both you got two lines, 2 points touching the bottom of the channel, 2 points touching the top of the channel, and we've had a breakout on that one. Now the wave count here, very difficult to tell. Um, I'm counting this as a short again, given that it didn't follow through yesterday. It didn't even make a new high. This count is particularly hard to understand. For me, it's kind of the only thing that makes sense at the moment. So we had a one, a small A, a B. This big long wave here appears to be a C, a wave C. And then this move down since that happened overnight here for me, it looks like a three wave move for a D and then potentially an E wave bounce back up. Now, the E wave bounced back up into the channel, but then it was quickly rejected. No move went above that area. So I'm counting that as a form of resistance. If we break the low of the newly perceived start of E wave, then there's a good chance that it could continue falling. I know Matic had a pretty decent drop, um, and like I said to you, these are bear market rallies, so you got to tread carefully. You know that's why I recommend you do your own research, learn the waves yourself, so then you can basically not blame anyone in case you make any mistakes, because mistakes are made all the time. Okay, it's not an easy game. But in order to try and give you some perspective, I just post these ideas. So long term, I think we're in a downtrend. This would probably be just a wave two of the larger pattern, as mentioned yesterday. If that's the case, we still need to see further downside. It doesn't want to break back into that channel, and also it's broken, sort of broken out of that channel, and seeing a little bit of rejection there. We need to see further downside in order to confirm that. So that's basically how I'm looking at this stage. As I mentioned before, I believe this is uh, a three wave move, which is a wave one of a weak wave C. And yeah, look, aside from that, it's just basically the same thing I said last time with the 1,000 period moving average acting as a form of resistance. After having gone straight up after a break of that trend line back from March 2020, we came back down. We hit the 500, bounced around for a while, and then we smashed through basically those moving averages, which would have taken a lot of downside pressure. And then potentially what's happening here, it's just come back to retest a break of that. So so to me, it makes kind of sense. It's not easy to tell. The waves sort of seem to indicate that that's what's going on. Um, you know, these corrections, these bear market rallies, you know, they look a bit different than corrections when you're in a bull market. So at this point in time, just be very cautious of how you trade this. Um, just zooming in on that, you can see there's a couple of long, some long wicks. Just test, keep retesting that resistance, and potentially we could see price move down in a in a worse way or a similar way to what we've seen since basically the end of last year, right down until June, June this year. Okay, so that's my take at this point. Obviously, the last two videos, have been giving you an idea of the long term and potential short term perspectives. But at this stage, if this thing can't break back into that channel, then it can only be assumed that we're going to continue going down. So that's my 2 cents. Hopefully you found this helpful. Thank you for watching.